Thanks for staying with us here on Bloom. Our next guest is one of the many who didn't realize what they were experiencing months after an accident, that it was actually a traumatic brain injury. We welcome retired neurology nurse practitioner and author of After the Crash, Kelly Tuttle. Kelly, so good to see you.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're glad as well because you're sharing your story. And we've been talking all throughout the show about how often so many people have a brain injury, but they don't even realize it. Your story, that hits home, doesn't it?
Yes.
I see you shaking your head. Kind of tell us what happened and how you discovered that there really was something going on in there.
So I was driving home from work one evening and another car pulled out in front of me and I T-boned the car. And it was a pretty bad wreck, but I thought I would just shake it off and get back to life. And I ended up going back to work, and my colleagues who are registered nurses and nurse practitioners noted I wasn't speaking right, I wasn't acting right, so they implored on me to see my general practitioner the next day. And I did so, and I was diagnosed with a concussion and then taken off work for a couple weeks thinking, okay, after a couple weeks, I'll be fine. And so I pushed to get back to work despite headaches, fatigue, and terrible neck pain. Well, a few months later, I'm driving home from work and I fell asleep at the wheel. And I was at that time able to wake up just in time to slam on my brakes and not have my car run into a tree. So instead of letting my doctor know, which I recommend your viewers to do, I decided to take a nap on the side of the road and then proceed home safely. I fortunately had a lunch appointment with a colleague who was at the time a neurology nurse practitioner. I was a cardiology nurse practitioner, and she was curious about my recovery, and I mentioned that I had fallen asleep at the wheel, but it was okay. I was taking this nap, and she was like, no, that's not okay. And she implored upon me to follow up with a physical medicine rehab doctor. They're also known as physiatrists, and they specialize in brain injuries and spine injuries, and to have a brain scan. And once I did that, I started getting onto the right road of recovery, seeing the speech therapist, a neurotherapist, a behavioral optometrist, all helping me recover and return to work and do well and improve as time passes.
You know, your